Hello, how's it going? I hope you're having a fabulous day. I am fired up and excited by the fact that you clicked on this video because what I want to share with you and why you clicked on this video is you're looking for an easier way to crank out videos where you don't need to do a lot of editing, right? So that's what this video is all about, and I am excited to dive into it because there is a really exciting way to do that, and it is free. And there's also a version of this where you can do it with a paid program, video editing program. But you can do this for free. All you need is webcam and microphone like I have set up right here, and you're ready to rock. So the first thing that you're going to need is OBS. And the cool thing about OBS is you can use it to switch. You can do live switching with this. So what that means is all you need additionally, which I forgot to mention, which is optional, but I highly recommend, is to get a number pad or numpad that you can plug into your computer. And what you're going to do is go into the OBS app, and then what you're going to do is go ahead and map out keyboard shortcuts for different scenes. So what you want to do before you map out your keyboard shortcuts is you want to set up scenes. This is what it looks like, the interface. So right here you have scenes, right, as you can see, and by default it'll just be scene 1, 2, 3, whatever. You can rename them. So I have camera, I got screen share, which is gonna look crazy because I'm sharing this screen right now. You have clip 1, which is this video here. I have clip 2 right here. And I have images. And as you can see right here, you can change these images to whatever you want. So that's essentially how you can do your scenes. And then of course right here you have your sources. So as I showed before, you can do this one. You know, you could do, and you don't need to do keyboard shortcuts, by the way. You could use your mouse, but people are going to hear your clicks, which is why I recommend doing the keyboard shortcuts. And then I can mute my camera, and then I can fade it back in. And then over here is your studio mode. So the cool thing, just as a little caveat, so if you want to add these images as layers on top of your video, I'd recommend not doing that in studio mode. If you're gonna do the layer method, right, where you're queuing up these different layers, then I would recommend to turn off studio and then just do the keyboard shortcut to make it appear and disappear. Because if you do studio mode, then you have to hit the transition button and transition it in, and it's just an extra step. But for queuing up the scenes, I highly recommend studio mode. What is that? It's this. So this is the same scene. So this is the same thing, right? That's what that looks like. And then what we're gonna do is just go back into here and you can use a mouse or the keyboard shortcuts to select your different scenes. And this is black because the video clip starts off black, and same with this this one right here. And you can preview it, of course. You can preview it up and stuff. Right, so you can do that. And then same with the images, you can queue them up and all that jazz. So that's essentially what the layout is like. And again, you go into settings right in here, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go into hotkeys, and by default this will all be blank. And then whatever number pad or key, if you just want to do the keyboard like I'm doing, you could do that. It's just with the keyboard, you're limited with the keyboard on the key combinations that you could do, and it just be easier to do a number pad because most people don't use the number pad when it comes to keyboard shortcuts in Windows or Mac. So I think that would just save you some headache, so that way you don't have to do crazy keyboard combination, right? So that's essentially what's going on there. I set up a keyboard and shortcut for recording and stop recording, which I highly recommend. And then the transition to fade into a different scene, you definitely want a keyboard shortcut for that. And then I named these different scenes, and you can, to switch to it, it's Control-Alt-1, which is the first scene, Control-Alt-2 to switch to the second scene, and so on and so forth. But again, it could be any keyboard shortcut that you want. And then I have, to show the different layers, I have this keyboard shortcut here. And to make it disappear, it's a different keyboard shortcut for each of these layers that you can put on top. They'll show up here in the scenes. But let's say you just want to do a stock image or stock video, you can do that too. And that's really cool. So like, for example, we're going to fade to this. Let's say we're talking about dating. Let's say I'm a master pickup artist. I'm talking about how you flirt with women on dates. We're back to me, right? We're back to me. See, we're editing in real time, real cool. And let's say, but Drew, I don't want to, cut to different clips. I want to cut to sharing my screen. Well, I can do that right now too. I can share my screen right now. In fact, let me do that. So we're going to go ahead and share the screen, and you can, the cool thing is you can set up the size of your video that you want to do. So let me go ahead and do that. Right meow. And bam, here we are. So, and then here I am again. And here I am again. So really, really cool stuff, guys. So now this is my website. This is just my portfolio here as an example. I mean, it could be anything on the screen. You can set it up to be a web page. You can set it up to be anything on your screen here and all that fun stuff. And again, you can go into your settings on your computer, and you can adjust the size of your face and all that stuff. And the way you can do that on the fly is you could take it off studio mode. And then now I can do this. Woo! Woohoo! Woohoo! Woo! And I can make myself smaller. And then, so it's just really cool. It's just really fun stuff. And boom. And then we're back. Now we're back to my face. So I just wanted to give you this quick tutorial video because I feel like this is a very overlooked thing. Most people put pressure on themselves when it comes to editing, when it comes to creating their own content, or whether it's trying to get it all in one take, and they're like, oh, but then I still have to edit. And it's like, you don't, man. Like you can set up OBS before you record how you want. And then once you have your keyboard shortcuts somewhat memorized like I do, and you kind of practice it, you know what I mean? Like you can edit on the fly, and then that way it saves you a lot of time editing. And what I recommend is after you record this, you throw this episode or whatever video, whatever you want to call this video that you're making, you can throw it into something like Descript, and you can edit out all the filler words. You can add more graphics if you want to, right? And I recommend Descript for doing this type of video, or not, or you could do DaVinci Resolve, whatever's your flavor. But it just is going to save you a ton of time when it comes to editing, and because you're doing it in real time. Another thing that is important to mention is Descript and DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve, they both support uploading directly to YouTube. So depending, it really doesn't matter what you choose to edit. You have that ability. I highly recommend that you use that function. It just will save you time because you can just set up all your description, your tags within the editing program, and then you can upload it, and then you're done. And then of course you can export the video as an MP4 or whatever and upload it also to Facebook or wherever you want, so that's really cool. But the benefit with Descript is you can take your long video that you just made and you can have it cut up clips for you, which is really, really, really handy. So if you want to do YouTube shorts, if you want to put your longer video on YouTube, and then you want YouTube shorts from it, or Instagram Reels or TikTok videos, Descript uses an AI tool to select the best clips based off of your subject and based off of the transcript. So I highly recommend that. I personally use both Resolve and Descript and highly recommend both of those things as well. So at any rate, I hope this helped. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know if you found this useful, if you have ever tried using OBS to do this type of thing. And again, like, you don't need a fancy equipment to do this. Right, I have my A7S plugged in as a webcam. I have this Zoom H1 as a microphone, and I don't even have a numpad. I just use keyboard shortcuts on my regular keyboard. And for the numpad that you need to map out the keyboard shortcuts in OBS, you don't need a fancy one, like a fancy macro pad or anything like that. You could do something like, like that, or you could do something like a Stream Deck. But, I think that will be kind of overkill because it makes it really easy with OBS to map out keyboard shortcuts. But anyway, thank you so much for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. If you found it useful, please feel free to subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And like this video and hit that little notification bell, because I am planning to make more wonderful tutorial videos. But anyway, until next time, thank you so much for watching and stay classy.